Oliver Ekman-Larsson. What is the latest on that front?
Well, we know that there have been preliminary discussions between Bill Armstrong, the general manager of the Arizona Coyotes, and Kenny Holland of the Edmonton Oilers. That's not a news flash. We've been speculating on that for a number of days. Now, if you want to compound the issues in Edmonton, particularly on the blue line, you wonder about the injury, whether it's long-term or otherwise, to Oscar Klefbom. And we're going to learn more about that in the days ahead. Does that put the Edmonton Oilers at a strong disadvantage when trying to negotiate for a piece as significant as Oliver Ekman-Larsson? What I know is that the expectation from Arizona's perspective is for a young defenseman as part of the return package, a first-round draft pick. But the Edmonton Oilers, if they're going to have an interest in closing on a deal that would bring Ekman-Larsson to the Oilers, they're going to need Arizona to take on some money. And the early indications are at this point that Arizona doesn't want to do that, either by retaining salary or taking on a contract that the Edmonton Oilers, or any team for that matter, would like to move. So I'm not sure at this point there's a fit between Edmonton and Arizona.
All right, let's go back up front. And Dave, you think there's a very specific approach that the Oilers should be taking to fill the holes on the wings? Explain.
I really think it's up to them to find the perfect wingers for Connor McDavid and for Leon Draisaitl. You've got two Hart Trophy winning centers. They can each carry a line. But so far, they haven't found the perfect complement. And it's not that simple. I understand that. But think about Sidney Crosby and what he's done with Pascal Dupuis, Chris Kunitz, Connor Sheary, Brian Rust, Jake Gensel. He's made those guys goal scorers. And I think both, obviously, Draisaitl and McDavid have that ability. But I'd almost give a scout a task of watch every goal that they've set up. And how are those goals being scored? And who are the perfect players to do that? It might not be the obvious ones. And can you go out and find those players? It looks like Kyle Yamamoto and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins right now have, filled admirably. Ideally, I'd like to see RNH in the third line center, because then you'd have a really strong group down the middle. But it's finding those types of wingers. And it's not simple, I understand that, but there's a certain type that can play with those guys. It's not an easy job to play with superstars. Find them, have them succeed.